Good weekend. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your weekend edition of your metal update. And this is your wrap-up for Friday. And this is the 1st of May, 2020. Well, what a week. Look at all the red behind me in the market. Gold did manage to be up a little. And most of the, if you look at it, most of the metals sort of just sitting still. But you didn't get that bid into the gold as the stock market for the past 2 days is dropped in the Dow 900 points. That's a big drop. Part of what's hurting it is interest rates have been climbing again. Not that much action going on in the energies. Grain market's down a little bit. So let's take a look. Why is gold stalling? Can you see it? You only stay over a Bollinger Band 5% of the time. This market broke out of this sideways action right here. Now it's been climbing itself back up, and as it's climbing itself back up, it keeps just riding this band. Nothing wrong with that. For the long term, it is acting bullish. But traders are expecting, oh, give me that $50, that $100 rally. It's not what this market's doing right now. What it's trying to do is just hang in here riding that Bollinger Band. On pullbacks, we'll see what the market does. What's the setup, though? The setup is not yet the bull setup. Now, it was. It had it all back here where the higher lows, higher highs. This drop took out that low. So we're restructuring the market. This shoot back up that we had 2 weeks ago and then this week's pullback, well, you're probably in the process of establishing higher lows. That's what I'm looking for. On the weekly chart, you would think the world's caved in because gold hasn't gone anywhere, but if you look on a close-to-close basis, the highest close we had recently was 1736.20. We're at 1700. So as much as people say, gold's not performing, it is. It's holding its best prices. When we take a look at a weekly bar chart, you can see that the pattern is one of higher lows and higher highs. Now the pattern will change negative if you're to take out 1659.90. That could give you all of a sudden the idea of lower highs, lower lows. That takes you out of the bull trend. That hasn't occurred since mid-March. We'll see if it does occur. Where's the support under the market? It's the 18-week average at 1609.60. So should that number be taken out, there is that possibility you want to go back another $50 from the current prices. That'd be $100 an ounce. Where's the resistance? Well, if you look at the Bollinger Band, it's right in front of you. And just like on the monthly chart, this is what's stopping the rally. But stopping the rally isn't creating a bear market. The resistance, let's call it the 1750 area, the Bollinger Band. You only stay over a Bollinger Band 5% of the time. So the market's done its job. It's still in an uptrend on the weekly charts. And momentum, remember, we look at momentum on a weekly chart. Is it overbought? Not overbought. Is it pointing up, actually? Pointing down or neutral? Overbought, oversold, or on daily charts? It's still up. So still on the weekly chart in a bullish mode, the risk would be getting under 1659.80. The gold-silver ratio just drifting here. It's caught between 120.22 and 108.15, back and forth action. And on the silver chart, you're up at a resistance zone, not the 18-week average, but the 100. This is the number that's giving the market a fit. You've had what we call a bear market rally. In the overall downtrend, you turn the swing lines up, as you can see, but as long as you're not over that 18-week average, the trend isn't filtered to say, I'm in a bull trend. So you don't have that, and you have flat momentum. In the copper market had an outside week down last week, and it took that high out this week. When that occurs, it's often a sign that prices want to move back towards the 18-week average of closes. Are we trending? Not really. You have a higher high and a lower low with an overall bounce in the market. Momentum trying to point upward here. In the platinum market, the resistance point is the combination of the 100-week and the 18. While the swing line has been up, making the higher highs, higher lows, it's off of this. In other words, you finally got your correction. It's a working correction, but you have not turned this market into the bull trend at this point. It is a market that's got the swing line up, the bias down, and momentum still pointing up. In the dollar index, we have now broken back on the weekly chart into a low, challenging again the 18-week average of closes. The pattern of the market is a lower low and a higher high. Momentum's trying to point down. A close under 98.72 would give the bears the upper hand, but it would not give you the clean pattern of lower highs, lower lows, which is something that we'd be looking for the longer term. Want to remind you what I do in the mornings for you, and that is my morning subscriber video. And this is where I come out at about 5:45 in the morning and typically start recording 40 charts on the futures markets. I cover the metals in great detail, talk about what's going on in Asia, Europe, where we're at in the marketplace, offer trade ideas. So I'm going to give you not only fundamentals as to what's going on in the marketplace overnight, we'll also talk about what do we see, what's the chart patterns going on, where do you come in, what do I think the pros are doing in the market, are there any contra-trend trades that might happen, what would end a trend or start a trend in a market, give you an awful lot of data. And I do it in a way that I think is really easy because I teach and throw the recommendations right at you. So you get through here, I'm going to cover all these markets, 40 charts. There'll be a slide bar on our website, by the way, where if you just wanted to go to the metals, you just slide it and it'll light up and say metals, and away you go with that. The cost for this, and there is a charge, it's not expensive, $7.95. That's how you get started. After that, you have two choices. You can buy a year up front, $156. Think about it. That's no money for every day of the week, Monday through Friday, getting these updates practically. And that's how it works there. Or $15 every 30 days, or you can quit. You know, we have people that don't like it. I have a lot that do, though. So I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday.